guys? We are back here working on the LS swap in the Dakota. I'm going to do a couple things here today. I'm going to work on building a transmission crossmember mount. We're going to use the factory crossmember on the Dakota. It should be pretty simple. Just going to drill some holes and cut some metal. Hopefully no welding, fingers crossed. And then we're going to try fit the headers I ordered for it to make sure that they fit well and have some clearance. And we'll see what happens. So let's get started. Okay guys, so we got a couple things here. This is the factory transmission crossmember for the Dakota. And then I have a polyurethane Turbo 400 or any kind of Chevrolet transmission mount. When you buy these transmission mounts, they actually come with this extra piece. And what it does is help kind of squash this rubber in between and really helps minimize the vibration and everything else that can be going on with the transmission shifting. What I also noticed is this fits perfectly as a strap between my two transmission mounts. So I'm going to use this as a template to cut out some 3/16 steel that I bought at the hardware store, and I'm going to build a strap. And then I'm going to put the transmission crossmember back in place, and I'm going to find out where this lines up. Then I will drill a hole here for the mounting point here. Hopefully it makes sense. We'll kind of get to it. Oh, also, I'm going to be drilling a hole in the end of this transmission crossmember because I'm going to be mounting it with 2 bolts, and I think the very forward facing bolts underneath the truck instead of the regular 4 mounting bolts here. I'm doing that because it needs to move back just a little bit, and there's already holes in the frames, and 2 bolts will actually be sufficient to hold the trans. You'd be very surprised. You don't need all 4 bolts. I am probably going to buy some spacers, but I'll show you that when we get to it. So let me get to cutting some metal. Alright, so this is a piece of 3/16, I believe. Let me make sure. Yep, 3/16 by 2 by 36. Actually bought it at my local hardware store. It was actually not hard to find, surprisingly. So I'm just going to use this strap as a template for the final strap. And I'm going to get the top curve. It's the outside. It's very outside is where the bolt's going to go through the cross member. So I'm going to try to find center for that. And get my punch out. Okie dokie, now I need to cut it. Now I'm just going to use a step bit to get it to 1/2 inch wide. There, 1 bolt hole is done. Now we got 1 more to go. Okay, well here is the final product. Got my holes drilled to about 1/2 inch. Let's see if they fit. Get my light over here. They sure do. Look at there. Perfect. Cool. So now I'm gonna draw a straight line between these two mounting holes right here. I'm gonna drill another 1/2 inch hole right here for my mounting point. And then I'm gonna get it up underneath the truck. So if you remember in the last video, I told you guys about how the motor is 4 inches offset to the passenger side. And you can see that on this transmission crossmember really well. You can see that this is the center line for the transmission mount, and it is way off to the right side. So this transmission crossmember mount already has this hole in it on this side. So I just drilled out this one. And what I'm going to do, I believe on the very front mounting bolts, because there's 2 on the frame, I'm going to use 1 bolt here and 1 bolt here instead of all 4. Now I know some people think you probably should use 4, but I promise you I've done this before in this truck and it's plenty enough to hold it. So I'm going to get some hardware, we're going to mount our strap, and then we're going to put this in place, and then I'm going to mount where the center line of the transmission, actually I'm probably just going to mark around it so I know where it's at, so we can drill out the last hole for the mounting point. So I'm going to get on that real quick. Okay, let me get this. Make sure the plate goes on. Even in the instructions they say that it's critical, so don't skip it. Now I'm going to get a transmission crossmember in place. Oh, okay, so we're going to use the back mounting holes actually. Sweet. Alright, so that's in place. Bingo. Cool. Gonna mount where I'm going to drill. I can actually see the center of this bolt here. See the center of this one. Okay. Alright, so this is the underside. You can see where I made the mark. I'm just going to punch that quick and drill it out also to a 1/2 inch and see what we got. Now this isn't the final right bolt, but we'll see if we get lined up here. And it goes in, and not quite. Oh, it's so close. I think if I loosen up those, I might be able to wiggle it a little bit and get it in there. Oh yeah. Okay. Plenty of wiggle room, so to speak. Bingo. So now I can tighten these now. Cool. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm working with. So there's 2 bolt holes. I'm using the rear mount on the frame with that centered hole on the passenger side. It's already there. Same thing here, rear mount on the frame, center hole on the passenger side, and I'm going to make a spacer for that so it doesn't crush. And then, here we go. I've got the strap in place. This is not the final bolt, I just have it in there because I can't find another one, so I'm gonna have to buy some hardware. And then there's the two that hold it in. So golden, straight in the center of that thing, looks great. I'll give you a little bit more detail. Let's see if I can show you somewhere. Looks so good. So that is mocked up. So it's still gonna come out. I gotta buy some new hardware and get like lock washers and washers and stuff and make spacers for these pieces over here. But we're in place, ready to go. So it's gonna come back out and get painted and all that stuff, get all cleaned up. But there it is, the transmission mount, guys. I just got my first box of speed parts in for the Dakota. You can see it there, Speed Engineering. It's gonna be good. So I'm gonna open that box with you guys real quick and see what we got. Okay, well here goes nothing. Okay, we'll get to this in a minute. Looky there. Got some header gaskets, some header bolts, and some shorty headers for the Dakota. And they look pretty awesome. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna see if these fit tomorrow when we can see a little bit more, but check out, I don't know if y'all can see it, see if I can get the light right. Check out the awesome dime welds on that thing. Nice thick flange. It's got the little point on the collector there. V-banded too. So, wow. I'm super excited to get these things. That looks awesome. So that's header number 1. Let me put it back in the bag so I don't mess it all up. So this would be the passenger side. And this is going to be the driver's side. Which looks way different than the passenger side does. Look at that. Man, look at them welds. That's amazing. That looks great. Super excited. So I'm going to be putting these on in the morning when the sun's out so we can see them a little bit better. But so there's those. Comes with 2.5-inch collectors. Stickers, which are great. I love stickers. And put them on my chemical box. Put 2.5-inch collectors with O2 bungs and a plug already in. That's kind of cool. And V-bands. So really cool. And if you buy these headers, they recommend that you also get a set of plug wires that are angled to get it within the pockets of the headers. So awesome. So I'm gonna install these in the morning to see if they fit, and we'll check out that process. So here's the driver's side header. If you can look down in there, even the collectors on it too. There's absolutely no interference. It looks great. Miles of room between the steering column and the header, and a lot of room in between the little piece for the motor mount down there, or the frame or cross member, whatever you want to call it. They look great. Alright, here's the passenger side, the one that's real tight. I had a set of long tubes that I thought were going to work, but they came out here and hit the upper control arm. So I bought these, and they fit great. Look down in there, there's plenty of room between the primary and the cross member. There's tons of room between that fourth tube and the A-arm as well. They fit really, really well. Now I still have to mount the transmission, which is going to move it over just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to impact the headers at all. If you look down in there, you can see how well the collector fits. No interference, and I can get a tube on there and get it all set up. So they fit really, really well. Speed engineering.